October 7th, 1989, the day I was born and the day that my identity began construction, at least the construction phase during my life. I was born into an amazing family. My mom met my dad at school in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. They dated, got married, and had my sister 7 years later, and then me 2 years after that. I grew up in a middle-class, white Christian home where my mom was in education and my dad was working with people. I clearly got their outgoing personality traits. I grew up very close to my sister Chelsea. We swam, rode horses, played volleyball, and did a few other extracurricular activities here and there. Our parents always supported us in whatever we were interested in doing. We were privileged. Neither of our parents grew up in homes of wealth, and my parents worked very hard to be able to provide for my sister and I, to let us know and see that we could do almost anything we wanted to. All of the schools I attended were middle or upper class, mainly white, schools that were some of the best in the state. I always had a desk to sit in, never worried about if there would be toilet paper in the bathroom, never walked through a metal detector when entering school, and never felt that my school did not have the resources to provide me with anything short of a grade A education. Academics always came first in our family and community, and I never thought of college as an option. It was just what you did, and that was that. While the teams that I was involved in were mainly white, my parents did make sure to get me involved in leadership activities that opened my eyes to a bigger community and world than what Summerfield, North Carolina was showing me. One program that I was involved in for 3 years was Youth Leadership of Greensboro. It was a group of about 40 students that would meet for student-organized community learning days. We focused on serving society, politics and the media, diversity and tolerance, law and justice, and environment and the economy. We also volunteered at different events like Santa's Workshop, where families could come in and get new donated toys to give their children for Christmas for free. It was a wonderful eye-opening experience that I am thankful for. After high school, I attended North Carolina State University, where I met lots of wonderful people from across the globe. During my last semester of school, which was the fall semester of my 3rd year, I moved to Boston, Massachusetts to experience city life in a place that I had already fallen in love with. I lived with 4 younger ladies and let go of everything I knew to be my regular routine of life. I returned to North Carolina, graduated with my Bachelor of Science in Food Science, and moved to Denver, Colorado to begin my life with John. I worked a few different jobs before entering this program, where I learned a lot about myself, but I wasn't happy. I was making good money, but I wasn't complete. I knew I wasn't doing what I knew my passion was, and the money wasn't making up for it. So I took some time to soul search and to be self-reflective in order to understand where my heart was. Once I stopped listening to everyone else tell me what they thought I should do, I realized what I had known since I was young, that I am a teacher, and that was that. I had a sense of pride and excitement in the moment I came to that realization, and I still have it now. However, I can confidently say that I am more prideful now than I was 8 weeks ago, before starting this course. On August 21st, 2012, I completed the first reading assignments for this course. That was the day that I started to become more aware of the oppression, racism, and marginalization that runs through our education system and through our society. I embrace what Antoine says that we should do as urban teachers, and what we have learned about this semester. That we should understand the complexity of race, and that we should be actively anti-racist. That we should focus on social justice, knowing that the access that we, as educators, will have to resources that can serve as leverage for changing the lives of those in the communities we work in. I want to be the teacher or activist that is involved in the community and social justice issues in and outside of the school context. I'm going to strive to be a teacher who advocates for the transformation of traditional curriculum and who creates societal change by engaging in the political battle to reclaim public schools for people who are turning them into institutions that are not culturally, socially, and linguistically responsive to the needs of disenfranchised communities, as is described in the Burstein and Montano article. And that we become and remain critically reflective. I want to make sure that I am welcoming of all types of knowledge into my classroom and into my life. Understanding that knowledge comes from and is in many different forms is critical to the facilitation of learning. For me to begin and to continue to unpack the complex boxes of my identity and the boxes in which I have formed for other people to fit into. Now more than ever do I believe that my coworkers will be some of the most vital tools I will ever come across in my lifelong journey of social justice, especially those educators that have experience and knowledge in how to do things like adding the Chicano history into lesson plans for teaching about the Trail of Tears. I want to associate and be associated with transformative professionals who have a social vision and commitment to making public schools democratic public spheres where all children, regardless of race, class, gender, and age, can learn what it means to be able to participate fully in a society that affirms and sustains the principles of equality, freedom, and social justice, and who has the courage to take risks, to look into the future, and to imagine a world that could be. The articles I have read and that I have had the opportunity to converse about with my colleagues for this course are merely the beginning blocks for the foundation of my teaching career. I will strive to read these articles in their entirety at the beginning, middle, and end of each school semester, especially when I am teaching, to remind myself of the type of teacher and person I need and want to be. Keeping a journal of situations and conversations that arise in my life, focusing on those in an academic setting, will aid me in being self-reflective. I will be able to assess how I address topics and situations, and I will be able to learn from what I do and how I apply what I have learned from these articles and conversations. The Samara article will serve as one of my driving forces for utilizing the knowledge that I have learned in this course and that I will learn throughout my entire life. If we as educators and human beings do not provide children, or even ourselves and our peers, with the right tools and platforms to talk about race, sexuality, religion, culture, etc., they will pick up things from the media and society that may be oppressive, racist, and marginalizing to a group of people. And as a self-reflective, socially just, actively anti-racist person that I strive to be, that is not the road I want to go down. Which road will you choose?
Also on the faces of people passing by, I see friends shaking hands singing, how do